Coinbase Prime is debuting an institutional-grade Web3 wallet, which includes features like managing NFT collections and voting on DAO governance. Joining us now to discuss is Coinbase's Vice President of Institutional Sales and Trading, Kevin Johnson. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. All right, let's talk about this Web3 wallet. Why develop this, and is it a wallet or is it a wallet as a service?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our Prime Web3 wallet is really giving institutions a way for them to interact with on-chain applications. As you mentioned, they're able to store things like tokens and NFTs. They're able to interact with DeFi, with DAOs, vote on governance, really anything they need to do on-chain. And it does that in a way that gives them self-custody of their assets. But it goes beyond what normal wallets do because it actually integrates with the safety and security of their existing Prime account. So if they have a multi-user setup with different types of permissions and configurations for how their users come together to approve transactions, all of those can be applied to that new Web3 wallet to ensure that that safety applies to their direct on-chain transactions as well.
So I thought crypto was supposed to democratize finance. How come institutions get a better wallet than me? I'm a poor schlub. I trade currencies. Why do the big boys get to, isn't this kind of like, didn't we occupy Wall Street for something? Come on.
Well, we actually take a lot of the great technology that we use in our individual retail wallet that we provide to all of our Coinbase customers, as well as anybody who wants to have access to that wallet. And we've just built on top of that, adding the features that institutions really require. You know, if you have more than one person on your team, or perhaps you have a complicated setup where one set of people need to propose transactions and others need to approve them, this wallet allows you to do that with not only your custodial assets on Prime as you can today, but now with all of your on-chain assets, including things like NFTs or interacting with any type of smart contract on the chain. So really, we're just giving the institutions the features that they require to participate in on-chain applications.
So, what qualifies as an institution that would get it? I mean, being institutionalized doesn't cut it, I assume. What exactly is it that allows this to happen? Like, how much money do I have to? How rich do I have to be?
So at Coinbase Prime, we focus on institutions that require multi-user setups. They're almost always some kind of entity 1%. That we onboard. They often are trading firms, hedge funds, venture capital firms, family offices, or more and more we're seeing corporations come into Coinbase Prime. So it's really people that have those specialized use cases that either require larger amounts of assets in cold storage, smart order routing for their trading, or now access to multi-user on-chain access.
What kind of demand were you seeing for a product like this from institutions? I know on the blog it says this product was born out of demand, but as we saw with the markets are kind of in a slump. NFT trading volume is at not all-time lows, but year-long lows. What are institutions really asking for?
Yeah, we see a lot of demand for this kind of a product from trading firms that are interacting directly with DeFi applications. But as I mentioned before, more and more we're seeing corporations who want to participate on-chain in some way, whether that's by doing an NFT drop, or in some cases even voting in DAOs, or maybe it's holding an ENS for their brand. There's more and more firms that know they want to participate on-chain, but they need a safe way to do that. When we talk to corporate treasurers or the lawyers that work for these firms, they're very concerned about not only the safety and security of their assets, but ensuring that they have the proper controls over who can access and who can make decisions with those assets. And so, we've seen that demand from clients. We knew that this was critical in order to bring them on-chain, and now they have that product through Coinbase Prime.
So can you explain what this Audit Trail thing is? I assume that's not auditing Tether because they don't like audits. But what is this Audit Trail feature that you offer on Coinbase Prime?
Yeah, so it's really important for any corporation of any kind to have a record of the money they spend, what they buy, what they sell. If they're, for sure, if they're a trading firm, they need to have records of everything that happens. That goes into their, their internal audits. It goes into their corporate filings. These are so in any kind of application they use, it needs to produce that kind of data in order for them to be able to use it. And what we saw early on was when these tools weren't available to corporations and institutions, they just weren't able to participate in the crypto economy. But now that Coinbase Prime has brought those tools to their trading and custody, and now to their direct on-chain activities, we think more and more corporations will be able to come into this industry.
What are your institutional clients? What are these corporations asking you about the crypto space right now, especially since the SEC has brought cases against Coinbase and Binance? There's been a recent enforcement action against an NFT firm. What are the questions you're being asked?
I think people are asking us, what is the safe and secure and regulated way to participate in this industry? And when they look around, they see that Coinbase Prime is really able to provide them those tools that allow them to comply with not only their internal requirements, but any regulations that are imposed with whatever jurisdiction that they're operating in. They ask all the right questions. They want to follow the rules. They want to be able to do things the right way. And they really need to partner with a provider that they trust and that can provide those tools to them.
So we saw a bunch of crypto lenders get imploded, if you will, over the past few months, if not more, and including some that are owned by DCG, our parent company. So what exactly is it that, what kind of demand are you seeing specifically? What kind of institutions are doing these kind of transactions that are requiring to borrow crypto? We talk about institutions in crypto kind of isn't exactly what we think of as institutions in traditional finance. So can you explain the difference as to what you're defining institutions as at Coinbase and Coinbase Prime, and why and how it differs from traditional finance institutions, let's say percentage makeup, if you will, the type of customers that you're dealing with that are dealing with borrowing and how they're in need of a lender post BlockFi?
So for many years now, we've seen adventurous traditional hedge funds move into this asset class, as well as crypto native hedge funds who were created with the purpose of specifically trading crypto assets. In both of those cases, those firms have a demand to borrow assets, either to create leverage or to be able to put on short positions. It's a normal part of any kind of sophisticated trading strategy. Larger institutional clients have been a little slower to come to the space, but as you've seen over the last couple months, more and more are looking at this space. And when they come into the space, they ask all the right questions around, how can I safely interact with a lending counterparty? How can I do that in a regulated way? And what kind of tools do I have available to me in order to do that safely? So as those tools get provided and as they get answers to those questions, they can move into the space. And we are seeing that continue to happen.
Kevin, congratulations on the launch. We're going to have to leave the conversation there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks a lot for having me.
That was Coinbase Vice President of Institutional Sales and Trading, Kevin Johnson.